What's going on, Solid Steppers? It's Miss Ward coming to you per usual. I'm just reflecting on last evening's events. So last night I had a coaching call. It was unfortunate because there was a lot of interruption and situations of that nature, and it was a kind of free bono one in exchange for some services. It was very interesting, very interesting. I learned a lot actually in that call. And then I had my famous roundtable event with my brothers from another mother. That was great. It was interesting because, you know, I'm one of those people, I'm talking to you, but I'm looking at your body language. I'm looking at how you're responding without words. And you tell a lot about people, how they respond and how they react to you. It speaks a lot about their character. It speaks a lot about their belief systems. So I always caution people to be very clear about what's going on around you. When you're dealing with customers, you know, it's important that you develop something called emotional intelligence. And, you know, so you are always ahead of the game. So these are my takeaways from yesterday. On the business side, it was a phenomenal day. I got a lot of things accomplished. I was able to feel like I was back on track. On the appliance side, I was able to knock out several jobs, teamed up with one of my favorite counterparts. We had a great day for, you know, a part of the day. And then, you know, I reached out to some of my other counterparts, and they were running into glitches and having problems, and Lord knows I know what that's like. Welcome to appliance repair. But it gave me an opportunity to reflect on so many things. And I think people need to really figure out where you want to be and just be there. Like my takeaway on the round table, shout out to Alex. They have a great round table every Thursday at 8 o'clock. And some of the guys with so much experience, they bring a wealth of information, knowledge, and experience to the table. I learn something every time I'm there because these guys live and breathe the industry. I would never disrespect or take anything from the way they do business. A lot of them, you know, I'm gonna be straight up, they're really not comfortable with me because I don't really care. But that's only because they don't know me, and I am foreign on so many levels. I'm accustomed to that. And, you know, I really don't make it my business to make people comfortable. I show up and I keep showing up. And then eventually people realize I'm real and consistent. But that's another conversation. This is why you have to be comfortable in your skin. Because if you ain't comfortable in you, there are things that will happen and you'll be all thrown off kilter. And you can't afford that, not in today's world. But anyway, I said all that to say is that you should always show up as you are, no matter where you are, and be proud of who you are. You're responsible for you. Ain't nobody else paying your damn bills. Just be you. And so, you know, my takeaways were that we all go to business differently. You know, a lot of people have models where they talk to customers, they develop those relationships. That's all fine and dandy, and it works well in their markets. You know, when I have a market, I have millions of options. And the reason I have millions of options is because I live in a global space. You know, we have people from all over the world. It's Florida, which is very, in some areas it's very transient. In some areas it's actually very down home and southern, believe it or not. And there's some areas where you're not even in the United States. You know what I mean? Because people have come in and invested in their cultures, and they have what I like to call an underground economy. You know, they are comfortable. They come and they work in the outer environment, but when they go home in their neighborhoods or on the job, they speak languages they're comfortable in. I'm not knocking none of that, because at the end of the day, this is what America is. America is a melting pot, and a lot of people are very uncomfortable with that. Well, you know, I don't really have a choice because I'm in Florida, and we all know Florida is, depending how far south you go, you'll know what I'm talking about. You know, and like I said, I don't knock anybody because I feel like diversity is the key. Everybody brings something. America wouldn't be America. When you look at the American dishes, ain't no way none of those are, none of them are native. There were different cultures that came here under different circumstances, and they added to the fabric of America. So anybody with issues, y'all just need to get the hell over it. Because where else you gonna go and be able to open a business and not have to bribe somebody, pay somebody, be born in the right family? You know, in America, you really can be all you can be. And while you can still do that, I suggest your ass do it. Get your stuff together. If you're working a job, enjoy your job. Be the best at it. Extract what you can to develop, become the best you. I mean, it's really not complicated. So when I look at situations and I'm in environments, I always look at the people around me because they don't know I've already seen them before. I mean, I've always worked in non-traditional environments where I've had to convince people who didn't look like me or people in different genders or experience that, yeah, you know, I might be the only blah, blah, blah you ever met or ever know, but you would never forget my ass because I'm a character. I know that. But I'm okay with that, you know, and that's why you have to work on yourself. You have to work on your goals, and you have to be the best version of yourself. Now, I said all that to say that when I coach people, a lot of times I see people seeing things and they listen to all these people. So they have what I like to call paralysis analysis. But I think you should always go with your gut. When you're listening to somebody, you should know if they BSing you. If you don't know they BSing you, that's because you're not grounded. That you're seeking outside validation in places, I hate to say it, that you shouldn't. Like I tell people when they talk to me about going into business and appliance repair, that a lot of these questions are not going to make, these answers won't make sense until you're on the ground, until you touch an appliance, until you turn a wrench, until you have the experience. Like I was having a conversation last evening with someone I was coaching, and I mean, well put together, had all the good questions. I could tell he was studying, looking, and that he was really serious about it. So first of all, shout out to you. I love that about you, you know. But I also watched how he had listened to all of our point of views, and you really can put us next to each other, like whether it be myself, other people you hear on YouTube, other people that give courses, and you're gonna get a different perspective, because the reality is, I don't care who course you take, and let me just put this out here. It's up to you to make it work. You can't point the finger at the instructor. You can't sit here and say that the course doesn't have this, and that. When you are, first of all, you haven't built a course, number one. You don't have any students. You're not coaching anybody. And you barely know what you're doing. Like, that whole piece there is a problem for me. But at the same time, I keep telling people, start working on the stuff in your house. Start troubleshooting. Get comfortable, because until you're in a customer's house and they standing over your ass asking you questions about stuff you don't even know about, let's just keep it real. Experiences you never had. Like when you walk in the house, the customer's going to ask you not just about the one you came in, to the appliance you studied for and you came to check on. They're going to ask you about other appliances in the house. And what do you think? Like, my favorite question is, what's in your house? In my brain, I'm really thinking, I'm really never there, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, but whatever. But the reality is, this is real world. So you got to get out here. You got to get the exposure. You know, I'm a female. If I can stand outside a door, not knowing what's on the other side or what's going to happen to my ass when I get in there, trust me, guys, you can do it too. Let's just keep it a buck. But like I said, you know, I think that a lot of times you got to shut off the TV. You got to shut off YouTube. You're going to have to pull out that Eric Clenert book, you know, which is probably Troubleshooting Home Appliances, It's probably one of the best books ever written, because that has the best structure I've ever seen. And you're going to have to get it in. I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell you the truth. The only way to really get in this industry is to go out and work, if you're going to be from the technical side. Now, there are other avenues, but you better be well versed in study, and you better not be BSing people, because it will show up. Which is why in the beginning, you know, I studied at a certain point. I thought I knew this and that. And then I got out here and it was a whole nother game. And I lost money behind it. I tell people this all the time. Even when I was talking last night about my government contracts, I explained how I pay for a course. So instead of me getting paid, like most people, 30, 60 days out, my contracts are paid within 10 days. You know, but I would have never known that because I wouldn't have taken the time to go through the FAR, you feel me, and look for this and look for that. This is what I mean. Knowledge is power when you know how to apply it, but having the knowledge and not applying it and tweaking it for your needs, that's on you. That is not a foreign concept. That just shows people how trained they are, that they feel like they gotta go to school, you gotta go to this, you gotta, because you've been programmed and trained to believe you can't do stuff without this and without that. You know? I just love how he just driving that truck like I'm not in this lane. It's okay though. But anyway, that's all I got to say today. I need you to be the best you. That's all I can say. And I need y'all to get past this analysis paralysis, because all you're doing is stunting your growth and delaying your greatness. Until you get out here, people, enough said. You're not going to get it. Be blessed and do with that what you will.